Hello and happy Thanksgiving, USA. Happy Thursday to the rest of the world. Now, today I want to talk about being predictable versus being unpredictable, but in a good way. What am I talking about? Let's say you're doing a wedding reception and you play all the tried and true wedding songs that you play at most events throughout the night. You didn't get a lot of requests. Everybody danced and had a good time. Yeah, that was pretty predictable. I mean, you played pretty much what they expected to hear because it's the same stuff they heard at every other wedding they went to this year. And there's nothing wrong with that. But let's say that you do a wedding and in the last hour, somebody comes up to you and says, "Hey, why haven't you played Uptown Funk yet?" Or, "Hey, why haven't you played the Cupid Shuffle yet?" Or, "Why haven't you played Love Shack yet?" You know, everybody was dancing and having a good time. You didn't have to play those songs. You were playing some different stuff successfully. In the last hour, yeah, go ahead and play the requests, whatever. But that's what I'm talking about, being unpredictable. Giving them something that they didn't expect. It makes it more fun and more interesting for our audience, I feel. And I think it's more important now than ever because new music really isn't something that's working very well for those of us who are doing corporate events and weddings and adult parties. If you're doing 15-year-old school dances, yeah, they love the newest hip-hop. But nobody else wants to hear anything that came out this year. It's weird that way. Bad year for music. So I'm suggesting to some that we start thinking about those flashback tracks that haven't been beaten to death and that people don't expect to hear at the events, so they can still be surprised and have some fun without relying on new songs. Some that I do, and I get a lot of criticism for this one, is I do Be Faithful by Crooklyn Clan. And some people don't think I should play that at a wedding, but I got a clean version of it, and no one expected to hear it. Another one I do sometimes is Enjoy the Silence by Depeche Mode. That's kind of a cool one. No one expected to hear it. And occasionally, it's been a while, but sometimes I'll do Jay Giles Band's Centerfold. Really, something that I never played as a mobile DJ until maybe more recently. But people know it. It's not something that's on the top of their head. They didn't just see it in a movie or whatever. It's kind of out of their lexicon, but they do remember it. And it's kind of one of those, oh wow, surprise tracks, which I think makes things fun. Now, if you say to yourself, you know, I don't think anybody at a wedding is going to expect me to play Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald by Gordon Lightfoot, you're probably right. But nobody wants to hear that at a wedding, and it's not going to do anything for your dance floor. It's not going to help you. Is it unpredictable? Absolutely. Is it a good idea? Probably not. So, I don't know, just some thoughts. Something else I was thinking about is not only the music we play, but the style we play it. And I'm talking about mixed styles. Sometimes, and maybe some of you can relate to this, you go to a club or you go to a party and there's a DJ and they're playing music and they're beat mixing all night. It's like 4 to 8 to 16 bar transitions all night long. It's very predictable how they're going to mix out of the next track. To me, it's not only distracting and annoying, but it's boring. So what I like to do, and this is just me and my thoughts, this is not gospel, I like to mix up my transition style so nobody can predict how I'm going to go from track A to track B. Sometimes it's a beat mix, and I do that when I'm trying to sneak a track in over the top of the other one. So I'll beat mix something like the Cha-Cha Slide into the Cupid Shuffle, which isn't easy to do, but I do it, and I bring in Cupid Shuffle low. Some people hear it, some people don't. They're still doing the line dance, and it works really well. I'll also do it with dance music, of course, when there's really good intros and outros to work with. But sometimes it's just a matter of just a slam from one track to the next, or a fade, or whatever. Mix these styles up. Don't try to do the same thing all night long. Something else I've seen people do when they're mixing is this style where they do a quick mix. They do verse, chorus, out, verse, chorus, out, verse, chorus, out all night. And, you know, that's kind of cool. I know a lot of people who do this and they have success with it. But I take a lot of my cues from stand-up comedy when it comes to performance. And one thing that I heard that was brilliant one time was that when an audience is applauding or laughing at a joke, what does the comedian do when the laughter's happening? Do they interrupt the laughter? No, you don't do that. You let the laughter happen. But what do? While they're laughing, you freeze. So if you're making a gesture like this, you freeze in that position and let them clap. And you don't change your facial expression and you try not to blink. You freeze until the applause or laughter dissipates. Then you can start moving again and move on to the next thing. I think we should probably think about treating songs the same way. If you're playing a track and people aren't feeling it and you want to mix out of it, that's okay. But if you're playing a track and you're having huge success with it, everyone likes it and they're enjoying it, why would you cut it short? Stay in that moment. Let the track happen. Let them dance to it and move on to the next track when it's over. So, just a thought and some ideas for you on a Thursday. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Practice and enjoy.